evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, January 8th, 2013. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Chip Ramsey with a Saturday independent newspaper. In tonight's news, additional charges have been filed against a Tullahoma man who was charged with abducting a Tullahoma woman in the early hours of January 1st. 7 Tennesseans have died last week during the New Year's Day holiday period, and the Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Brian Morris, who is a former Tullahoma High School star, has his number retired in a ceremony at the school last Friday. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6. Stay tuned.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night at 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Tullahoma Drug has a gift for keeping well. You know about prescriptions, but there's so much more to tell. There's a gift for all occasions, for body, soul, and mind. Cards to show you care, gifts to show your kind. There are remedies and recipes and treats, you'll want to eat them. Stacks of books from famous cooks and spectacles to read them. Shades and frames, puzzles, games, dishes, plates, and mugs. We're a Tullahoma treasure. We are Tullahoma Drug.
If you think about it, this can be the difference between old-fashioned DSL and high-speed Charter internet. Charter gets to the good stuff faster. See just how fast the internet can be with Charter. It's way faster than DSL.
Welcome back. Authorities are filing additional criminal charges against a Tullahoma man initially accused with the New Year's Day carjacking and abduction of a woman from a Hillsborough Boulevard business in Manchester. Billy Joe Nelson, age 31, was charged Friday by Tullahoma police with sexual assault, robbery, and aggravated kidnapping in connection with the alleged incident. The Tullahoma News reports Nelson is being held in the Coffee County Jail under a $1.2 million bond. The man was at first charged with carjacking after the alleged victim told police that he forced her into her car and had her drive to Tullahoma early on New Year's Day. The woman claims that Nelson then left her at Dossett Apartments. She reportedly drove away and called for help.
An October 2012 killing spree that left 6 people dead in southern Lincoln County, Tennessee, and North Alabama rattled area residents with the threat of a serial killer. But in a surprise announcement Friday, Lincoln County Sheriff Murray Blackwelder said 2 suspects in the multiple murders had been held in a Madison County, Alabama jail only hours after the victims were found. Blackwelder says the 2 unnamed suspects were picked up on unrelated charges within 48 hours of the killings later in the late October hours. 2 young women and an 18-month-old boy were found dead at a home in south of Fayetteville near the Alabama line on October 22nd. Hours later, another woman was found dead at a home nearby. A possible suspect, 24-year-old Warren Crutcher, was also found dead at a rural home in the area of Madison County, Alabama the next day. Another man was found dead from a gunshot wound in a Huntsville, Alabama home. Police say Crutcher knew or had relationships with all of the victims. Fayetteville prosecutor Robert Carter says he's waiting for crime reports from the TBI before going forward with prosecutions.
Preliminary reports indicate 7 Tennesseans died last week during the New Year's Day holiday period. The Tennessee Highway Patrol says the victims died in 5 separate crashes. 2 of those who died were not wearing seat restraints, and 2 of the fatalities were pedestrians. 5 died during the 2011 New Year's holiday. The THP says 96 suspected impaired drivers were arrested during its stepped-up 16-county no-refusal enforcement effort. The new no-refusal law allows officers to seek warrants for blood samples in suspected drunk driving cases. The use of a THP drunk driving hotline exploded in the 12-county Chattanooga district that includes Coffee, Franklin, and Grundy counties. Some 310 calls were made last week about suspected drunk drivers compared to only 58 in December during the Christmas season. We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
It's nice to see familiar faces while enjoying great Sears low prices at your locally owned and operated Sears hometown store in Tullahoma and Shelbyville. Mike and his crew are a premier dealer where you'll find great Sears quality and availability at the lowest prices guaranteed. Featuring Craftsman tools with Sears' famous lifetime warranty, Craftsman lawn and garden equipment, 10 major appliance brands featuring Kenmore, Electrolux and Whirlpool, Sealy bedding, Kenmore and Dyson vacuums, Nordic Track and Soul Fitness equipment. And if it's not on our shelves, it's available online at Sears.com with free shipping to either location. Sears Hometown Store in Tullahoma and Shelbyville. We're right in your neighborhood.
Say I'll love you forever at Woodard's Diamond Showroom inside Northgate Mall of Tullahoma.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
What is Rotary? We're a network of people like you. In fact, we're the original social network. More than 1 million of us live just about everywhere you can think of. And we mean everywhere. We get together to exchange ideas, grow our businesses, and make new friends. We volunteer to help our own communities or someone else's. We're right around the corner. Come join us. The name is Rotary. Rotary International. You're welcome.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
Welcome back. A Bradley County Republican lawmaker says he will propose a bill granting Tennessee school districts the option to allow trained, armed teachers in classrooms on a voluntary basis. Cleveland Representative Eric Watson says his legislation would let districts allow teachers to receive a law enforcement style training and carry concealed weapons in class. Watson says he's acting on the request of some 60 area teachers who don't want to go defenseless. Many teachers and school systems are expected to push back against the measure. Other guns in schools laws to be introduced by Republicans this month would require districts to have at least one armed officer at every school, while another would train faculty and require the school district to assume liability for gun use.
Governor Bill Haslam spoke with TNReports.com late last month about his views on arming teachers. Let's watch.
I've heard people say, well, we should arm teachers. Well, I don't. That's an interesting question. I know a whole lot of teachers that wouldn't want to be armed, and so how does that work? If a principal said, no thanks, I've got a daughter who's a second grade teacher, and I mean that's the last thing she just knowing her, that's less than she'd want to do. So I don't, to me, it's hard to see what kind of how much we gain in doing that. I do think you have to separate this. I think there's an ongoing discussion in Tennessee about our current laws and the whole guns and guns and locked cars issues versus we have a bigger issue around kind of mass violence that's taken over. It happens much more frequently in our country. I've seen the numbers going back like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, thousands, and then now the first part of the tens about the number of mass, horrific killings we've had like this, and that number keeps going up. And it doesn't seem to be there doesn't seem to be a lot of variance relative to gun laws and other things. So while I'm not saying guns are the issue of guns is not germane to the discussion. There's a whole lot of factors in there, and I do think we need to have that discussion. I mean, because it hadn't just happened at schools; it happened at movie theaters and malls and a lot of other places. And so, again, I think as a country we need to have a discussion about what is going on here.
And the president earlier today, basically appointed a task force, and it looks like he's trying to move on a federal level. And some people say, well, geez, if they're moving on a federal level towards looking at some possible gun control, Tennessee seems to be moving in the opposite direction, which is expanding gun rights.
Yeah.
I mean, is that fair, and is that something that's a priority for you?
Well, I think this, the country's move has been in the last 3 days, okay? So I don't know that Tennessee will have a discussion in January, and I do think it will be colored by the events of last week. I don't know how that discussion won't be. Now, I'm not saying it's going to turn one way or the other, but I do think it will be a little bit different discussion because of what happened at Sandy Hook. Is it a priority for me? It's a priority for me in this sense. I mean, like I said, my daughter teaches second grade. You look at funerals of 6-year-old kids, and you can't, if you don't have a pit in your stomach, something's wrong with you, okay? So I think having that discussion about what is going on here, and you hear people blame everything from video games to guns to changes in culture and society. I think we really do need to have that discussion. In terms of the gun legislation in Tennessee, we've always said, that wasn't going to be our focus. I mean, here are the things that we really are focusing on. I do think the overall safety and security of the state is part of our responsibility, so we want to be a part of that discussion. But in terms of us proposing legislation, some legislation was proposed for me, that just hasn't been a priority. Again, the prior discussion, that hasn't been a priority of ours. It will be a priority of ours to have a discussion about what do we do to address this.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has offices in Tullahoma. And for your banking convenience, offices all across this region. At Citizens Tri-County Bank, we listen when you tell us what you want in banking. So at our beautiful new Tullahoma downtown office at 201 North Jackson Street, enjoy the kids' playroom, home-like fireplace sitting area, drive-up 24/7 ATM, ample parking, and lighted and camera monitored drive-thrus. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need. Welcome to Camino Real, home of the area's most authentic Mexican food. Expect quality service in a friendly environment that features the only truly authentic Mexican food in the area, with favorites like tacos, fajitas, enchiladas, burritos, tostadas, freshly made guacamole, and Mexican rice, all made from scratch using homemade Mexican recipes and only the freshest ingredients. Come and enjoy a meal at Camino Real with the great food, friendly service, and warm atmosphere of Old Mexico.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back. Former Tullahoma baseball great pitcher Brian Morris was honored Friday night at the halftime of the Tullahoma girls basketball game with the retiring of his jersey. Brian was a relief pitcher this year for the Pittsburgh Pirates, compiling a 1.80 earned run average. John Gray brings us this video.
At this time, can I direct everyone's attention to center court? On this date, January 4th, 2013, the number 15 baseball uniform is retired from competition at Tullahoma High School. Brian was an outstanding player at Tullahoma High School from 2002 to 2005. Brian was a member of the 2005 state tournament team. In 2005, he was selected District 8 AAA MVP, All-Region, All-State, TBCA Pro Line Player of the Year, Gatorade Player of the Year, and the Louisville Slugger All-American. In June of 2005, he was selected in the 3rd round of the Major League Baseball draft by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Brian turned down the Devil Rays to attend Motlow College. While at Motlow in 2006, he went 10-1 with 122 strikeouts and a .82 ERA. He was named 2nd Team All-American and was selected 26th overall in the 1st round of the 2006 Major League Baseball draft by the Los Angeles Dodgers. On July 31st, 2008, he was acquired by the Pittsburgh Pirates. On July 11th, 2010, Brian participated in the MLB Futures Game in Anaheim, California, as part of All-Star Game festivities. He was selected as an MLB Organizational All-Star for his performance in 2010. On Friday, September 14th, Brian made his Major League debut against the Chicago Cubs, pitching a perfect inning of baseball at Wrigley Field in Chicago, Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, Avery Brian Morris.
Former Tullahoma High School head basketball coach Dale Phelps was also honored Friday night for his many years of service to Tullahoma High School athletics. Coach Phelps is the winningest coach in Tullahoma basketball history. It was a great night with many former players on hand. Let's watch that video also.
Please focus your attention on the center of the court. Tonight, Tullahoma High School and the city of Tullahoma would like to recognize former Tullahoma Wildcat head basketball coach, Mr. Dale Phelps, in honor of 39 years of service to Tullahoma High School. Students both on the hardwood and in the classroom, recognizing your commitment as coach to the Tullahoma High School basketball program for 27 years, from 1960 to 1987. Accumulating more than 420 wins, proving to be Tullahoma's winningest coach, and for your outstanding leadership, sound fundamentals, and respect earned from students, athletes, and the community, the city of Tullahoma and Tullahoma High School honors you, Coach Dale Phelps. Let's hear it for Coach Phelps, the winningest coach in the history of Tullahoma High School basketball.
Hey, Bobby, how you doing?
Great, good to see you.
Good to see you. Congratulations.
Huh?
Congratulations.
They're all hugging on Coach Phelps. Here they come. There's Jim Kemp over there. Look at those two. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's get that bunch up there. Look at there.
Hit that bunch. That bunch, there's a basketball player up there.
Don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include local philanthropist Randall Baskin, who will stop by and tell us a little bit about his life and his new book. The Tullahoma Animal Shelter will bring their dog of the month for some good old-fashioned belly rubbing, and Tullahoma dancer Mary Jean Ford will stop by and tell us about her future plans and about fundraising events that will help with Down's syndrome. All that and more on this week's Tullahoma Living. We'll be back in just a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
The highest standard of trust offers a sense of safety and comfort. It's established over time. You know when you see it. You know when you feel it. There's a standard of trust in healthcare. It's the Joint Commission Gold Seal of Approval. In 2003, Life Care Center of Tullahoma voluntarily achieved this accreditation and maintains it still today. Life Care, meeting a higher standard because residents matter most.
You can see it in his swagger. You can see it in his swagger. He a boss, you can see it in his swag. How we walk, how we talk.
A lot can change in 2 years, but not everything has to. With the Charter Price Guarantee, lock in low rates for 2 years, because sometimes it's nice to know what's on the road ahead.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gotta be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. When the Tullahoma Wildcats looked over at the visitors' bench Friday night, they saw a familiar face. Jeff Taylor, who had 12 good years as the head coach of the Wildcats, made his first trip to the gym on Jackson Street as the mentor of his alma mater, Franklin County. The Wildcats came out on top, handling the rebuilding Rebels, a 64-52 defeat that really wasn't very close after the midway point in the second quarter when the Cats used a 10-2 spurt to take a 36-22 halftime lead. Markel Hickerson had 18 to lead Tullahoma. Justin Hill had his best game of his career with 15 points. Van Williams scored 13. Joseph London had 6. Tyler Fishback and Zane Price added 5 apiece. And Justin Brown scored 2. It was the 6th win in a row for Coach Tim Behrendorf's Wildcats and even their overall record at 7-7. Tullahoma plays Shelbyville tonight in Shelbyville.
The Tullahoma Lady Cats won their 4th game in a row, 43-42 in a nail-biter over visiting Franklin County Friday night. The Lady Cats were cruising along with a 15-point lead with 3:20 left in the third quarter when the Rebelettes put together a run of 12 straight points before a Lady Cat free throw at the end of the period broke the drought and gave Tullahoma a 33-29 lead going into the final stanza. A pair of Aaron Lane three-pointers early in the fourth twice gave Coach Dale Ossip's Lady Cats a 7-point lead before Franklin County rallied again and actually missed a potential game winner shot at the buzzer. The win improves the Lady Wildcats record to 9-5 overall and 1-1 in district play with a trip to Shelbyville looming tonight. Lane, the leading scorer on a surging Lady Wildcat squad that has no seniors, had 18 points on the night. Kentoria Alexander had 12. Ashley McDonald and Antasia Washington had 4 apiece. Caleb Bland scored 3 and Katie Lett added 2 points. We'll be right back in a moment with your weather forecast after these messages.
Are you looking for a new car dealer that offers no games, no gimmicks, no hassles? Then look no further than Russell Barnett Kia. Keith Barnett here today with my nephew Clay to tell you about the all-new 2012 Kia Optima. Yours today for $21,995 after rebates and incentives. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. No games, no gimmicks, no hassles. My question is, tell them, Clay.
Why buy anywhere else?
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Huh. Wow. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Some things in life you just have to wait for. Hit movies arriving in the mail shouldn't be one of them. Charter On Demand lets you enjoy tons of new release blockbusters instantly.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1946 at 71 degrees. The record low was in 1942 at -5 degrees. The average high on this day is 47, and the average low is 28. For tonight, look for partly cloudy weather with a low of around 45. Some showers expected in the afternoon tomorrow on Wednesday with a high of 56 and a low of 53, and a few showers remain in the forecast for Thursday with a high of 64 and a low of 59. And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great night.